board meeting, I'm not gonna do that at budget meeting either, because really, this is the time where the electors would authorize the board to spend that money. We don't have to spend it, we could still say no, or we could spend it this year going forward, or we could say no, the village of East Troy is already budgeted, it hasn't been a budget this year, so we'll start next year. Those type of things are not what we're discussing here right now. What we're discussing is it appropriate for the town of East Troy to share the cost of the Fourth of July fireworks? So that's the question, that, I guess I said my piece how we got there. Anybody else wanna speak to that?
How's the split determined? Is it third?
Yes.
Is it only 10%? Oh,
Yeah, third, pretty much how we do,
percent.
most of the things we were dealing with the Lions. Is it true that more people go from the village than the town? True. I mean, they have pushing 5,000 people, and we're just over 4,000. The convenience of the village, within the village, and in the lake, you know, people mostly go to the lake shore that's there also. So anyway, that's the point we came up with. We agreed, and I believe, I didn't check the town of Troy's, agenda for their meeting at the same time, on whether or not they, are gonna do it, but it sounded like they were gonna have that discussion, probably at the meeting.
So they're effectively saying they may not do this?
No.
Okay, no.
No, the last word I got is, yeah, that they would put it on their agenda. I just didn't check to see if, I don't know, did you check the agenda for? Okay.
I think Joel's asking, is the village gonna stop doing
Right.
fireworks
No,
if they
oh,
don't
they
get
can
the
stop?
money?
No, I mean, how do you say no to understand, you don't really do that, you know? Now, if you look at their total budget, and I didn't include in the package what the invoice amount was. 4,000 plus 250 doesn't include. I'm sure they'll continue it, so they'll just ask. And I said, the board is not gonna make that decision, the elected one.
Is there a way, I'm sorry. Is there a way to coordinate when they run their fireworks versus where the lakes run them? So
Oh,
that
yeah.
the two people could actually attend both?
That's a point that never was brought up, and I wasn't. I'm not quite sure, is anybody here from the Beulah Fireworks group?
They're July 3rd.
July 3rd?
So Potter's Lake also has their own fireworks, and, they're not free anymore. The
Okay.
community has to pay for them.
Which Beulah does too, yeah, the
Yeah.
community donations.
So we don't have a set date at this point, but we do also have fireworks.
And, I'm not quite sure the day, but I know it's earlier than the 4th for the village. But that is a point I could bring up, I'm not quite sure how much leeway the lakes have with their schedule, I'm sure there's a very contracted on that.
The longer you do it, the more preference you get.
So that's 3rd and then 4th would be a rain date.
Rain day.
Was there any discussion on participating in the parade at all?
That's on topic too, because really, the East Troy Lions Music Festival, they have absolutely no contact with the town of East Troy. None. It used to be, some, mostly the parade events and whatever, like, the squads, I don't even know, Chief, director, is he there?
No.
We know if we even put our squads in the, parade?
No.
The fire trucks are, because that's actually a community idea, okay. But that'd be another point for him, as far as I know, we have absolutely no say on anything.
So the town floor, show off, I mean, something
Yeah.
to show off.
Yeah, I mean, Joe may wanna ride in a Corvette to the parade, and right now he can't. John?
Currently, and I think this is correct, the town of East Troy does not contribute to the lake's fireworks, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so,
Donation.
if the town were to consider contributing to the village, that would be for the residents that aren't on the lake, that wanna go watch fireworks, that we would be contributing for that.
Yeah, Yeah,
Okay,
it's hard to differentiate.
It'd
between-
be everybody's tax dollars.
Right. And that's
Whether
what
you live on the lake or you don't.
I had a
you know.
question, that was my question also, and actually I forgot about Potter's Lake, so.
I mean,
I totally appreciate the Lions Club, I think they do great things, I enjoy them, especially a granddaughter coming and you're gonna be at the fair and all that, but it's tough. It's tough for me to think, I mean, here, people park down, down by, the dockside and, we kinda, they get people around township gather and they look at the show there, they try to do both. But, I know that, the yacht club also, it sends out for donations and such, cause that's not a cheap, show as far as I know also, so where do you?
I don't know what it's been, any idea?
It costs more than that.
Well, I'm saying, I mean, I know that.
probably 50 or 60
It's hard to
grand.
say when we have something right here within two different lakes and within our own community.
And why,
I still enjoy that in the village, but.
why wouldn't we donate to Potters and Beulah before the village fire company?
The point is,
Because they're actually here.
Can I ask Attorney Mills, because this is not like property, is this also an advisory vote?
It is, the 60.10 sub 3 sub B does allow town electors to authorize a town to do this, but it's not, it's advisory only. And that deals with civic functions. You can tell the board to put in their next budget money to do civic functions. But I still think you should go back to the Tri-Troy Alliance and see if they might be able to round up some corporate sponsors for their fireworks. It seems to be how a lot of other municipalities do it.
right, most municipalities, the village decided to go over, it's a line item in their budget, there it is, boom. Smaller communities, they do pass, they have to ask for donations, okay? I think Potter's all donations, Villa's all donations, maybe the village will, in their, discussion on this, maybe they'll make it, donations there too. But it's pretty difficult once you start getting into the larger populations. You're not that large though.
Do Mr. Mills discussed with the town board about donations? Does this fall into that category where you are going to,
A town can only do what statutes authorize.
okay,
Because there is language authorizing monies being set aside for civic functions,
okay,
it's different.
got it. Thank you for explaining that.
Anyone else? Pro con, ideas? I will bring up those points, they're actually pretty helpful. The donating there, why don't we donate to the other way? Good point. So, I don't see any more people wanting to speak, so. Call the question. Motion?
I make a motion, we kick into the villages, because we have a lot of people that can't make it to the lake, that live in the town of East Troy. Remember, we got 36 square miles around here, we gotta take care of everybody.
I second it.
We have a motion, a second.
Who was the second?
Carla.
All right, any further discussion before we go to the ballot? All right, so the first one is,
The kind of yellowy, greeny, neon.
the motion is to, contribute at 1/3, and authorizing the board to spend that money if we choose to, before 17. Yes or no?
Anybody that's got it?
Thank you.
So that's why
right. Anybody else back here that I missed? No? Okay. Anybody else? Did we miss anybody? Oh, I got two of them.
Just while they're counting the ballot, I could quickly do the
Is it okay?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
While they're counting the ballots, I just wanted to quickly highlight, for those of you maybe who haven't seen some of the, videos from the town board meetings, last year we budgeted $100,000 to update our equipment in the park here, Jim Burns Memorial Park just outside. There were some structural issues that we were starting to see with some of the posts splitting and, from freezing over the winter and things like that, some of the tread, getting unsafe, so we budgeted $100,000. We did get, 3 proposals, and each from 3 different companies, and they each presented 2 different options, right? Kind of like a more expensive and a little bit less expensive within our budget. This is the option that we're going with, including, so originally, our DPW department was going to provide all of the wood chips and they're also removing the old material. But with this proposal from Burke, who is just in Cambridge, Wisconsin here, little things added up, right? We pay less in freight and we pay less in installation and assembly costs. And they have a long-standing, they want to work with local people. They gave us a little bit more of a discount. So we ended up including the wood chips from them because they're able to get it actually at a better rate than Todd could from Whitty here on Highway 20. And we got the final proposal today. We are just including 1 bench here. We have 2 existing benches that we'll replace. We also have like a digger out there and a couple of bouncy rides, small little bouncy rides that we'll replace and continue to use. And this came in at about $89,000. So under our $100,000 budget. Some of the other features that we liked was this included like the shade areas. Sometimes in the sun it's nice to have that. We don't have a lot of that today. And swings for a change. We haven't had swings in quite a few years. I think this play set out here has been over 25 years, right? Or 20 years.
Yeah, just
somewhere
over
around
20
there.
years.
Yeah, over 20 years. So feel free afterwards to take a look. But that's just a quick update. We're looking probably a little at probably July timeframe after the holiday. Looking to sign the final proposal.
Question?
Oh, I think Jeff said his name first, sorry.
Just curious, are the materials more man-made versus wood for longevity?
They're not wood, yep, they are, the
Composite?
warranties, they're composite, the warranties go anywhere from like 3 years on like the connecting hardware and things like that, up to 100 years on some of the materials. John?
Have you considered more than 1 bench because of parents and grandparents?
Yep.
And
We have 2 existing benches that we're gonna continue to use, and so we're adding this 3rd bench.
Oh, okay, there will be 3.
Other than that, and there's also a couple, there's at least 1 or 2 under the trees as well.
2 under the trees and 1.
Yeah.
Another
So,
question.
2's right in the area.
So this is good. Has anybody ever thought about putting a train stop there?
They have started stopping there for various activities. They have the trick or treat train in October. That is 4 Fridays of the month where they stop here. We have games and trick or treat stop
So you
here.
can get on and off?
They get on and off and then they go back. Yep, so they get on at the train station and the train comes here.
Okay.
And they do a little, we have like 8 game stations and trick or treat. We need volunteers for that event because this year now they're expanding the trains to every Friday and Sunday in October.
Michelle, they also stop during the
4th
summer.
of July.
Groups come many times and stop
So
during.
is there
That
like
was
a-
next.
And
Yeah,
they play and use our pavilion.
They've actually done a wedding from the train they've held the wedding in the Jim Burns Memorial Park area, but all the attendants came on the train and some of the attendants all the attendants and the bride and groom and then some of the family had not been on the train.
So is there like a little station here?
there isn't.
There's a spot where they can just get
So like
off.
stairs and,
Yeah.
no like
Yep.
handicap ramp or anything like that?
No,
The train though, yeah.
from the train.
The,
So they have to get on the train with stairs at the
Okay.
station too.
the train has stairs that they bring off the train
Okay.
for people to get down and up from, but I have not seen anything handicap
Okay.
wise.
I'm glad there's something. so-
And when you drive by, you can see we have kind of a little spot there, for trick or treat, we did some decorations for Christmas, we have some decorations there, you can see they put an Easter egg there for the bunny train, just as it was going by, it didn't stop for the bunny train, but 4th of July, they're also scheduled to stop here, that's why we're trying to time out the equipment. We're gonna probably wait till after that for the new equipment, so that partnership is growing. But then we need volunteers. Yeah.
How long will it take to install, and how much of the site will be blocked off or closed off while they're installing?
I don't know that we have a timeline yet, we're trying to work out the scheduling, we're trying to minimize the downtime. We'll make sure to post it on our website with Jen, but,
I have a feeling it's gonna be probably down for, cause we gotta, it's actually, we gotta expand it a little bit, cause it's a little bit bigger area. You're gonna probably down almost a month, as a guess. The lead time, they haven't given us a lead time on ordering it when it's actually gonna come.
they
but the
originally
latest-
said 10 to 12 weeks, so
Yeah.
that's why we were worried, it was right around the 4th of July, the peak of the summer.
Yep.
And so we just said we'd probably wait till after. So, like I said, feel free to stop by and take a look.
We can keep that board up in the hallway, if you ever just wanted to come in and take a look at it.
Very close vote, 22 yes votes, 23 no votes. And 1 no vote recommended donating to Lakeview Empire. No, they wrote that on.
22 yes, 23 no.
No. Motion carries.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is discussion and advisory motion regarding the need to have a development ordinance governing storage containers, storage box, shipping containers in residential districts. I'll leave this to the last page in the handout here. We've been discussing this off and on here for 6 months, so we've been working with residents here. But I put this together and it was in a meeting packet, so people understood how we got here. And, at the August board meeting, we authorized Attorney Mills to do the town code to keep the people here. That's what we did. Weaknesses were identified by chief revenue rights to exemption, right, agency, also no mention of shipping containers in the town code. This is also identified by Waller County. Waller County says, we'll issue a zoning permit, but we tell them that you gotta get any other local, permits. Well, the county only approves, the area assessment zone. If you look at your zoning, and you look at your lot size, so you can have that many square feet, the zoning permit is done. Gets here, the building inspector can't do anything, because, shipping containers for products, is not a building. You can't do anything. So, this actually came up 2 years ago, this new, petition. And the petition was, not turned in until probably September, October of last year, okay? And, that's how it got started. So what the town board has to do, and the reason we're doing this here, Carl, we need a recommendation, John had said, why don't we put this on the agenda?
It was Jen.
Yeah, you did it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was me, but that's okay. I'll do check.
Okay.
I was bothered.
I think
So-
when we were actually doing the agenda.
When we were doing the
Yeah.
agenda, yes.
So this is why it's here, and again, we have, 50-some people here that are interested enough to come to the meeting, similar to other issues we've had. And, we should have an open discussion on it. In the meantime, though, we are we have authorized Attorney Mills to actually write an ordinance that lays out the ordinance creation process. And, that was an issue, actually, there you go. And, so we were gonna, look at that.
It was.
Well, oh, okay.
You reiterated.
I reiterate.
You reiterate? Okay. So, yeah, you're right, I do remember that. Yeah. So anyway, within that new ordinance on ordinance creation, there'll be a couple things that don't exist now. And one of them is about the readings, because most of our ordinance updates, when we update, we have a 12-year, 10-year,
Not that many.
4, maybe.
it seems like some years we do a lot more, some years we don't do any. So this is the standard deal about updating. But I recommended that since a new ordinance is just that, be 2 readings. And the 2 readings can occur at the same meeting. I'm gonna recommend that we have it separated, to get more input. And we didn't get a lot of input on this since we started talking about this. A lot of input, a lot of discussion. Does the town have a big problem with it? No. I only came up with 4 locations that I found. It's not a big deal, but the thing is there's no building permits on these. We're gonna have a discussion on that. So, before we make a motion here, is there anything else that anybody wanted to say before we have a motion? Because then we can start a discussion about this.
I have a couple things. First off, we don't have a lot of problems with it. Secondly, the way Walworth County reads right now, if you have up to 12,000 square foot of property, you get 10% or 1,200 square feet. We're proposing in this thing 200 square feet. So it's maybe 15% of what Walworth County allows on the smallest, that's a 1/4 acre lot. You get 1,650 square feet up to from 1/4 to about 0.9 acres. Again, looking at 200 square feet versus 6, that's 10% of that for a larger lot. I'm not understanding why we fix it at 10 by 220. That's all that's in here. And then up to an acre, I'm not gonna go on, but that's 2,150 square feet for 1 acre, up to an acre.
The draft that was handed out was a draft that was done last fall. It has not been updated with any other comments.
Okay.
Other than it was proposed that this be limited to dumpster storage type units on residential properties only. And that there, right now in this draft, there is, a prohibition from using a, railroad car, any of these portable structures as housing. So this is a rough draft that, over the months that we've been discussing it, not a lot of work has gone into it since, just because, we knew that we were gonna have an advisory vote, whether I needed to continue or not.
Okay, so, actually, before the, motion, then. if you start
Comment?
discussion, Go ahead, Dan.
Right now, as it stands, the Walworth County does all of our zoning in our township, and they are currently responsible for all zoning. And the town of East Troy entered into an agreement with Walworth County on July 14th, 1975, and for the last almost 50 years, the county's been doing it, and they've been doing a good job at doing it. Currently, at the county level, if you want an accessory structure on your property, I'm going to use 5 acres as an example, you're allowed 2% of your overall square footage, which comes out to be, if I'm using 5 acres as an example, it comes out to be 3,600 square feet of accessory structures. So you can have a pole building, you could have a chicken coop, you could have a tree house, you could have a shipping container. The new proposed, way the draft is written there, you're basically, if you're gonna use a storage container, you used to be able to have 3,600 square feet. So basically what's happening is, under the current county zoning, you're allowed 3,600 square feet on 5 acres of whatever type of accessory structure you choose. Under this new proposal, this is restricting, this is basically the government telling you what you can do size-wise on your property. Now, I understand a lot of properties in the town, like if you're in Miramar, you're not gonna qualify for that kind of square footage. But people do move out to the country, they do get C2 properties, and they like the current existing zoning that's been afforded to us via the county. So I just think it's a bad idea to try to make a more restrictive ordinance than what the county's been doing for 50 years, when we really don't have an issue or a problem in the township with it.
I've said this all before, I just wanted to reiterate a little bit, but, I kind of agree with the comments that have been made, that I myself have driven all over the township. I've talked with even the DPW and some of our officers, and, because you can't see it all, but I really don't see, that we have a container problem. In fact, I've said in open meetings that I've seen a few places that could probably use a couple containers, to be honest. You know, I mean, and that's just my own opinion, but, I don't really foresee an issue. I don't know, I think the county's been doing a good job. I don't think many members of the community have ever come to me since I've been on the board that, hey, what are we gonna do about this, or any sort of thing like that, but, I don't feel it necessary, in my opinion.
Yes, I wanna make a clarification, this is not a zoning ordinance. If you read the definition, and actually, if you look at the first whereas clause, what I had in mind, and I'm not sure what direction the board is going in, it's not for any property other than those zoned residentially in terms of what you can have. I think the discussion is where on those properties you can have dumpsters, an old school bus. If you look at the definition, it says it is defined as anything other than an accessory building or structure. This is not what we are trying to regulate. At least that's not what I had in mind when I was drafting it. It also does not include yard maintenance buildings, sheds. I heard there was some online chatter that the town doesn't want you to have sheds. That's excluded here. So, no matter how you feel about it, I just wanted to let everyone know, this isn't a town attempt to start zoning properties. This is regarding containers on the property and residentially zoned lots.
And follow up with the part agenda, this will have no effect on the area allowed by the county. The amount of
Two separate things.
Yeah. Two separate things, yeah.
Then could you clarify, under I, why then are you dictating what type of things can be used for accessory buildings? You know, that's stepping into telling somebody, this is the way you're going to have your accessory buildings gonna look.
Right, and I think the definition of accessory building here, we need to clarify, because in this draft, we're not allowing people to live inside of accessory type buildings that the county permits. So it should say, as a inhabitable building,